Hello, welcome to this video series on number system. So today we'll be looking into a new concept, a new topic, that's factorials. So and today this series would be the introduction to factorials, which is more of a basic in nature. So let's start this chapter. So yeah, now factorial basically is the product of all the natural numbers which is less than a given number. So factorial of n would be the product of all the positive integers less than or equal to n. That is the product of n consecutive positive integer beginning with 1 continuing till n will give n factorial. So that is, I mean, if I have to write n factorial, so n factorial is written as n into n minus 1 into n minus 2, so on till 1. That is, if I have to write for say uh, 5 factorial, I mean 3 factorial, so 3 factorial would nothing be but it would be 3 into 2 into 1. Similarly 4 factorial would be nothing but 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So what are we doing? We are simply multiplying all the numbers which are less than or equal to the given number. So factorial of 4 means the multiplication of all the numbers which are equal to or less than 4. So that is it. So that's what I mean. Factorial of n would be nothing but n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into so on till 1. And this is a factorial sign. Sometimes this is also given as this somewhere. So it means one and the same thing. So this we can write as n factorial is equal to nothing but, now see, can we not write this as n minus 1 into n minus 2 into n minus 3 so on till 1? So this part, can we not say this is n minus 1 factorial, n minus 1 factorial, because what would be n minus 1 factorial? N minus 1 factorial will be the product of all the natural numbers which are less than or equal to n minus 1. So n minus 1 into 1 lower than n minus 1 is n minus 2, one number lower than n minus 2 is n minus 3, and so on till 1. So basically this shows that we can write n factorial as nothing but n into n minus 1 factorial. So this is also one of the standard relation which we'll make use of quite extensively during this factorial session. So this we should be, I mean, aware of. Now, if we see, and one more concept, and factorial is defined for only positive integers. That is, we don't define factorial for negative numbers typically. So we'll see, I mean, factorial is typically defined for 1, 2, and so on. Though factorial of 0 also exists, that we'll see later on. So, for example, if we see, if I have to calculate 5 factorial, so what would it be? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, which is nothing but 5 for the 23 is 60 into 120. Can I not write this as 5 into 4 factorial, because this part would be nothing but 4 factorial, right? So this can when we written as 5 into 4 factorial, and 4 factorial we know is 4 into 3 into 2, which is equal to 24. So this is nothing but 5 into 24, which is 120. So yeah, very basics of factorials, I mean different way of representation of a factorial. So that thing we are seeing now. Just for better understanding and revision sake, I write down the factorial value of all the numbers from 1 to 10. So 1 factorial means 1 into 1, I mean it will end till n, so that is 1. 2 factorial is nothing but 2 into 1, which is 2. 3 factorial is same with 3 into 2 into 1, which is 6. 4 factorial Can I now directly write 4 factorial would be nothing but 4 into 3 factorial. 3 factorial is 6, so 4 into 6 is 24. So directly I can write 5 factorial will be nothing but 5 into 4 factorial. 5 into 4 factorial is 24. So 5 into 24 is 120. Similarly, 6 factorial would be 6 into 120, which is 720. 7 factorial would be 7 into 6 factorial, which is nothing but 7 into 720, which is nothing but 5040. Similarly, 8 factorial will be 8 into 7 factorial. So 8 into 5040. So that would be nothing but 40320. 9 factorial would be 9 into 8 factorial, which is 9 into 40320. This if we multiply, we will get 362,880. And 10 factorial would be nothing but 10 into 9 factorial. This we know, I mean, we just multiply this, so it becomes 3628800. So this way we can, I mean, uh, find the value of different factorials. It's easy, I mean, quite useful to remember the factorials till 6 factorial. Subsequent numbers are actually a bit difficult to remember, but 6 factorial, if we can remember, that would be easier for us in different calculations. So this is the basic introduction and definition of factorial. Now we will see a concept on zero factorial. So now here, I mean, in previous slide, I had shown that n factorial I can write as n into n minus 1 factorial, right? So here, if I substitute n is equal to 1 in this equation, so what would we get? That would be nothing but 1 factorial is equal to 1 into 1 minus 1 factorial. So from here, this is nothing but 1 factorial is equal to 1 into 0 factorial. From here, I can write 0 factorial is equal to 1 factorial upon 1. 1 factorial we know is 1. So therefore, from here, I can write that 0 factorial is 0. Sorry, is 1. So 0 factorial is 1. So this is a standard result which we should remember. Though factorial is defined only for positive numbers, but 0 factorial also we know, and 0 factorial is nothing but 1. This we have derived. Now you may wonder why we don't go for negative numbers. I mean, just for, I mean, sake of a uh, understanding, I take a note of, I mean, if I just put n factorial is equal to n into n minus 1, and say suppose I substitute n is equal to 0. If n is equal to 0, so what would be the equation? It would be 0 factorial is equal to nothing but 0 into minus 1 factorial. So this means minus 1 factorial would be nothing but 0 factorial upon 0. Now we know this will be 1 upon 0. 0 factorial is 1. So we know that anything divided by 0 is a non-determinate thing. I mean, this does not exist. So therefore, we never define factorial is not defined because of this. Because of this, we minus 1 factorial is not defined. Similarly, factorial of any negative number is not defined because of this reason. Now, so what we have seen, see, factorial of different numbers would always be different. See here, I mean, we had calculated factorials of different number 1, 2, 3, 4, so on till 8. All the numbers would be different. Why? Because every subsequent factorial would be one additional multiplication to the previous factorial. Hence, the factorial of every number would be different except for 0 and 1. Because except for 0 factorial and 1 factorial, all other numbers have different factorial value. Right, so this is a very standard thing. This we should remember. I mean, this we can see 5 factorial is 120, 4 factorial is 24, 6 factorial is 720. None of the other factorial values would be similar except for 0 factorial and 1 factorial, which is both same as 1. So this is also we should, I mean, keep in mind. Now we'll look into a few illustrations based on this topic and concept on factorials. So here the example says 8 factorial into 6 factorial into 3 factorial. This is divided by 7 factorial into 4 factorial into 2 factorial. So this we have to solve, find the value of this, uh, simplify basically. So this would be nothing but 8 factorial I can write as 8 into 7 factorial. 6 factorial I can write as 6 into 5 into 4 factorial, and 3 factorial I can write as 3 into 2 factorial, right? And denominator is 7 factorial into 4 factorial into 2 factorial. Now see, uh, thing is, this 7 and this 7 will cancel out. Similarly, this 4 factorial cancels out. This 2 factorial and this 2 factorial cancels out. So basically, what I did not individually calculate the value of all the factorials. It would be too huge. So I have written it in such a way that the numerator, a part of the numerator gets cancelled out with the denominator, right? So here I can write what remains to us is 8 into 6 into 5 into 3, right? This is what uh, remains. So what would be the value? 8 5 is 40 and 18 into 47 20. So 720 would be the product of this expression, right? Now another question. This is also quite, I mean, interesting one. Let us see this here. uh, how many of the following 99 integers are prime numbers? So see here, it is 100 factorial plus 2. Achha, let us see, I mean, 100 factorial plus 2. 100 factorial we know would be something like 1 into 2 into 3, so on till 100. So can I not write this as 2k, 2 into some multiple k? This I can write because 2 is a factor here. So this I can write as 2k1 plus 2, which is nothing but 2 into k1 plus 1. So now is 100 factorial plus 2 a prime number? No, because this has a multiple, I mean, factor 2, whereas prime numbers are defined as those numbers which do not have any other factor apart from the number itself or 1. But here it has another factor which is 2. So therefore this is not a prime number. Similarly, 100 factorial plus 3. So here 100 would also 100 factorial also has a factor of 3. So this can when we written as 3k2 also. So again it can be written as 3 into k2 plus 1. So this term is also not a prime number. So on till 100 factorial plus 100. This you can write as 100 into say k 100 plus 1. So that way. So none of the 99 numbers are prime number. So therefore these 99 numbers are prime, right? This we have seen. Let's move on to the next question. This is again, I mean, a sort of a equation in factorials. So let us solve this. Here it says n factorial square upon n minus 1 factorial into n plus 1 factorial. This is equal to 4 by 5. We have to find the value of n, right? So this I can write as n factorial into n factorial upon n minus 1 factorial into n plus 1 factorial, that is equal to 4 by 5. Again, now numerator I can write this n factorial as n into n minus 1 factorial. Further, this is n factorial. Denominator here is n minus 1 factorial into this n plus 1 factorial I can write as n plus 1 into n factorial. Now see, this is nothing but 4 by 5. So this here, this n minus 1 factorial gets cancelled with this n minus 1 factorial, and this n factorial gets cancelled with this n factorial. So this can further be written as n upon n plus 1. So this is a simplified form of this expression, is equal to 4 by 5. So from here we can solve this, and 5n is equal to 4n plus 4. This means n is equal to 4. So n is equal to 4 is the answer to this question, right? Let us solve another question. This is also an interesting, and quite standard question of factorial. Let us see this. Here it says 1 plus 2 into 2 factorial plus 3 into 3 factorial plus 4 into 4 factorial, so on till 9 into 9 factorial. Say let this be n. So this we can write as 1 plus 2, we can write as 3 minus 1 into 2 factorial, plus here 3 we can write as 4 minus 1 as 3 factorial. This 4 we can write as 5 minus 1 as into 4 factorial, so on till 10 minus 1 into 9 factorial. This can further be now written as 1 plus 3 into 2 factorial, right? When we expand this bracket, it will be 3 into 2 factorial, which is nothing but 3 factorial, minus 1 into 2 factorial is 2 factorial. Here it will be 4 into 3 factorial, which is 4 factorial, minus 1 into 3 factorial is 3 factorial. So similar way it will be 5 factorial minus 4 factorial plus 6 factorial minus 5 factorial, so on till last term will be 10 into 9 factorial is 10 factorial minus 9 factorial. Now see, this 3 factorial gets cancelled with this 3 factorial, right? Then this 4 factorial gets cancelled with 4 factorial. 5 factorial gets cancelled with 5 factorial. 6 factorial would get cancelled with here 6 factorial. So on. So every term gets cancelled out. Even this 9 factorial would get cancelled from this 9 factorial here. So what would remain here is nothing but 10 factorial minus 2 factorial plus 1, which is nothing but 10 factorial. 2 factorial, we know the value of 2 factorial is 2. So minus 2 plus 1, which is 10 factorial minus 1. So n is nothing but 10 factorial minus 1. So it's a very, standard result. Now I can generalize this in a way that 1 plus 2 into 2 factorial plus 3 into 3 factorial plus 4 into 4 factorial, so on till n into n factorial is nothing but n plus 1 factorial minus 1. This we have seen here n was 9, So the final result was n plus 1 10 factorial minus 1. So this is a standard result also. I mean, whenever we see a expression of this nature, I mean, we can solve this also, but to save time, we can remember this. This is very standard uh, expression in factorials. Now we'll move on to the next question. Here the question I just rearrange this. It, it is like 10 factorial plus 9 factorial into 8 factorial plus 7 factorial into 6 factorial plus 5 factorial into 4 factorial plus 3 factorial into 2 factorial plus 1 factorial. This divided by 10 factorial minus 9 factorial, 8 factorial minus 7 factorial, 6 factorial minus 5 factorial, 4 factorial minus 3 factorial, 2 factorial minus 1 factorial. So now let us see this. We just see this term by term. So let this be n. So n will not take. We just take the first term, which is 10 factorial plus upon 9 factorial plus 9 factorial upon 10 factorial minus 9 factorial. Let us see. I mean, how can we simplify this? So can we write this as 10 into 9 factorial plus 9 factorial? And this we can write as 9 into 10 into 9 factorial minus 9 factorial. So here it becomes 9 factorial, we will take common. This will become 10 into 1 11, and denominator it will be mm, I mean 9 into 9 factorial it will be. So basically it becomes 11. 9 factorial gets cancelled out. It becomes 11 by 9, right? Similarly, 8 factorial plus 7 factorial by 8 factorial minus 7 factorial is nothing but same way we can write this as 9 into 7 factorial upon 7 into 7 factorial. So this will get cancelled out, 7 factorial and 7 factorial. What will remain is 9 by 7. Yes. Then one more term we will see and then generalize 6 factorial upon 5 factorial upon 6 factorial minus 5 factorial. This we can write as what? 7 into 5 factorial upon 5 into 5 factorial. This will get cancelled out. So this is nothing but 7 by 5. So now we can generalize. The n would be nothing but 11 by 9 into 9 by 7 into 7 by 5 into 5 by 3 into so on. The last term would be, so this will be 3 by 1, right? So that way, if I now we can cross this. So what remains is 11 only. So on simplification, this term would result into 11. Now we will solve one more question here. This is like find the value of n where n greater than 0 such that n factorial. This is like n factorial raised to power n factorial raised to power n factor. Let me n factorial raised to power n factorial raised to power n factorial, so on. I mean, this is like infinity question may not be, I mean, very proper. This is infinity. So if this is equal to 1, we have to find the value of n. So can I write this as nothing but n raised to power n factorial raised to power, this whole term is nothing but the expression itself, which is 1, right? I mean, let this be 1 if y, suppose. So I can write this as n factorial upon y, because this is also nothing but n factorial raised to power n factorial raised to power infinity till. So y, which further, I mean, I know that y is nothing but 1. So n factorial raised to power 1 is equal to 1. So this I can write as n factorial is equal to 1. So where n can take a value of 0 comma 1, but since n not equal, n is greater than 0, so this means n is equal to 1 is our solution to this question. They are very simple questions, but just to, I mean, build upon the basic and get a thorough control over this, we are looking into the different sort of questions which can help us build the concept. So now we'll see some different concept that is on units, unit digits of n factorial. So now let us see here. So suppose 1 factorial, we know 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 2 into 1, which is 2, 3 factorial is 3 into 2 into 1, which is 6, 4 factorial is what, 4 into 3 factorial, which is 4 into 6, which is 24. Now 5 factorial is 5 into 4 factorial, which is 120. Now see, 6 factorial is how much? 6 factorial will be 6 into 5 factorial. And now 5 factorial has a 0. So it will be 6 into 120. So 720. So now since the unit place digit here was 0, so 6 multiplied by 0 would have been 0 only. Similarly, even 7 factorial, it will be 0 only, right? Because 7 multiplied by 6 factorial, which is 7 into 0, so unit place. So now I can say that all subsequent unit digit would be 0. So from here, what I can say ki, that the possible unit digits of, therefore the possible unit digits of n factorial, where, I mean, n is greater than equal to 1, is nothing but 0, 0 we have seen, then 1, 2, 4 and 6, right? 1, 2, 4 and 6. 1 we have got a unit place digit, 2 we have got, 6 we have got, 4 we have got, and then 0. So these are the only possibilities, right? So these are the only possibilities. So this is the only possibility, right? So now let us solve some basic questions on this. I mean, if the question is to find the unit digit of, say, 3 factorial plus 4 factorial plus 7 factorial plus 100 factorial plus 999 factorial. So this is the question n. So what would be the unit digit? Now we know that any factorial more than 5, more than equal to 5, will have a unit place digit of 0. So all these numbers will have a unit digit of 0, right? So whatever the unit digit will come from these two numbers, it will come. So 3 factorial is nothing but 6, and 4 factorial is 4. So 6 plus 4 plus 0. So this 6 plus 4 again will give 0 only. So unit place digit of this number n is nothing but 0. Unit digit of n is 0. So this is the way we can, I mean, solve this question. Now we will see the last two digits of a factorial. So that is also similar concept. I mean, in remainders we have seen ki the unit digits and the last two digits that also repeats, and how to find that. Uh, so now through this example we try to understand this last two digit of a factorial. So how does this work out? So question is ki 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial, so on 10,000 factorial. So now let us see. I try to explain the concept here first. See, 1 factorial is nothing but 1, 2 factorial is 2, 3 factorial is 3. So nothing but 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, right? Since we have to consider two digits. 4 factorial is 4 into 3 factorial. Sorry, this is 6. 6 into 4. 5 factorial is 24 into 5 is 120. 6 factorial is 720. 8 factorial is 7 factorial. 5040. 8 factorial again we can write as 0 40320. 9 factorial we can write as 0 362880, and 10 factorial we can write as 3628800. Right, now the 11th factorial would be nothing but what we will do, we will multiply 11 with 10 factorial, and since 10 factorial has a 20 here, so again 11 factorial will also have 20, right? So here also the last two digits would be 20. So now every subsequent n factorial would have the last two digits as 0 factorial. So for unit digit we were considering the unit digits of only 1 to 4 factorial, because we knew the unit digit of 5 factorial and the subsequent number is 0. Similarly, in for last two digits we will be concerned only till 9 factorial, right? Only till 9 factorial, because subsequent numbers would be double zeros, so that we need not consider, right? So let us, I mean, solve this. So now one factorial we know is 1. 2 factorial is 2. 3 factorial is 6. 4 factorial we know what is 4 factorial. 4 factorial is 24. 5 factorial would be 24. 5 yeah 20, 120. So we retain only 20. 1 we are not concerned with. Now 6 factorial would be nothing but 6 into 20. So 6 into 20 is again 120. So we will write, we return 20 only. Now 7 factorial would be 7 into 20, right? So 7 into 20 gives 140. We will retain 40 and take away 1 from here. Now next is 8th factorial. I mean, just I write 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial, 5 factorial, 6 factorial, 7 factorial. 8 factorial will be 8 into this last two digit 40. So that is nothing but 8 4 ja 32. So again it becomes 320. So we will retain 20 and ignore 3. Now 9 factorial would be 9 into 20 180. So this is 80. 1 we will ignore, and then subsequent, I mean, 10th factorial onwards is 0 0, right? So simply we have to add this now. So this becomes 80 20 100 100 140 160 180 180 30 210 213 it becomes. So this is 213. What are these? These are only last two digits, right? So it becomes 213. We will ignore 2, so it becomes 13. So last two digits is nothing but 13. So let us see, I mean, again, what I did for finding 6 factorial, I did not look here at 720. What I knew ki since 5 factorial is 120, so I have to be concerned only with the last two digits. So last two digit of 5 factorial is 20. 6 factorial, the last two digit would be the 6 into the last two digits of 5 factorial, which is again 6 into 20, which is 120. 120 ka 20 we will retain and 1 we will ignore because we are only concerned with last two digits. Similarly for 7 factorial, what we will do, we will multiply 7 with 20, which will give 140. 140 ka 40 we will retain, 1 we will ignore. So same way here for 9 factorial, we know will be nothing but 9 into 8 factorial. 9 into here 8 factorial का last two digit is 20, so 9 into 20 is 180. 180 का 80 we will retain, 1 we will ignore. So and then add on the thing that becomes 213, of which 13 is the last two digits, so 13 becomes the answer here. So this is the process to solve the questions of this fashion. Now we will see another concept, that is the product of n consecutive natural numbers. Product of n consecutive natural numbers, and that it's given here is always a multiple of n factorial. Let us see how and why. Say suppose I have to find for any four, I mean, yeah, let's say product of four consecutive numbers, right? So those numbers can be n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 into n plus 3, right? Now see here, we know that any four set of four consecutive natural number will have at least one multiple of 4, right? So set of four consecutive natural numbers will have one, at least one 4, right? One multiple of 4 and one multiple of 2 and one multiple of 3 each, right? Because we know that any number, I mean, see if I write here, every multiple of 3 will repeat after three numbers, right? We know every multiple of 3 will repeat after three numbers. So therefore this four consecutive number certainly will have a multiple of 3k1. And we also know that every uh, even number, or every, I mean, multiple of 2 will repeat after two numbers. So this has four numbers, so at least it will have one multiple of 2. I mean, there will be two multiple of 2, uh, two multiple of 2 and one multiple of 4. So the way I can write this as, there would be 3k1, one multiple of 3, then there would be multiple of 2 also, two multiples of 2 and 4k1, at least one multiple of 2. So can we not write this, I mean, if a number is a form of 3k1 into 2k1 into 4k1, so the n can be written as NCM of 3 comma 2 comma 4 times some k, right? So that is nothing but 24k. 24k is nothing but 4 factorial into k. So I can write that product of four consecutive natural numbers would be a multiple of 4 factorial, right? So therefore, product of n consecutive natural number will always be a multiple of n factorial. Let us see, I take some examples also. Say, uh, if I take say 5 into 6 into 7 into 8. Now this number has one multiple of 2, I mean two multiples of 2, one multiple of 4 also, and one multiple of 3. So that is why uh, this is a multiple of 48, but this is at least a multiple of 24. But if I take an example of 3, 4, 5 and 6. So here it has exactly one multiple of 4, one multiple of 3 and one multiple of 2. So this is a multiple, I mean this product is 360. So this is again a multiple of 24. Now if I take another example, say 4 into 5 into 6 into 7. So this is nothing but 840. So this is also a multiple of 24. I mean, you may say that there may be a multiple of 48 also, but that may not be necessary for all the equations. So that's what we are seeing 3, 4, 5. Now we will see with 6, 7, 8, 9. So now here, see, it has a, I mean, 3 powers of 2 and 3 powers of 3. So this is basically, I mean, divisible by even a greater multiple of 24, but at least 24 will be divisible. But here we cannot say, I mean, this is divisible by 48 also, right? What will be the, this is 30 to 10, this is 1680. Now if I take 7 into 8 into 9 into 10, another. So here what will happen? It will be nothing but it has a 2 cube 3 square. Sorry, 2 4 into 3 square. Now if I take 9, 10, 11, 12, it is 3 square into 2 has a 3 powers, right? So this is 72k. This is 144k. This is 432k. Here if you see, here it is nothing but 2 cube into 3 only. So here it is only 24k, right? Here it is only 24k. Here we can see 2 has a 3 powers, and here also it is only 24k. And here we may 3 and 1 4, 2 raised to power 4 16 into 3. Here it is 48k. So now see, I have taken 6 different set of 4 consecutive numbers. I can see on the set of 4 consecutive numbers is at least divisible by 24. Though this is divisible by 48, but this is divisible by 24 only. No further, I mean multiple of 22. 48 may not divide this, right? So from here what we can conclude कि at least 24 will surely divide a consecutive multiple of 4 numbers. Similarly, we can see for say, I mean, I just try for 5 numbers. So product of 5 consecutive numbers. So 5 consecutive numbers would be n is equal to n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 into n plus 3 into n plus 4. So now 5 consecutive numbers, there would be at least a multiple of 2. 2k1. There would be multiple of 3 also, because every 3 on number consecutive numbers will have one, at least one 3. So here it will be have 3. Then there would be one 4 also, and 5, because every multiple of 5 comes after a difference of 5 numbers. So this 5 consecutive number will have at least one 5. So that is what it becomes. I mean, if we see the product, it becomes 5 4 ja 20, 3 ja 60 into 120. That is 120k. So this is nothing but 5 factorial k. So from here we can conclude that any n consecutive integers or natural number will, or product of those will always be divisible by n factorial. So this we have seen through examples also, and derived the same also. Now we solve an example over this. Find the number of natural numbers n less than 200 such that n minus 1 factorial is not divisible by n. So this is, I mean, uh, see, question says the number of natural numbers n which is less than 200. So here it says n is less than 200 such that n minus 1 factorial is not divisible by n. So n minus 1 factorial is not divisible by n. It means it cannot be written as a factor of, I mean, multiple of n. So let us see through an example. I mean, broadly what we can see. See, if I consider a number n is equal to, say, a prime number 13, so will 12 factorial divide 13? Will be divisible by 13? No. Why? Because 13 is a prime number, so no, it has no factors, and 12 factorial is a multiple of all the numbers less than equal to 12. So 12 factorial does not have 13. So this 13 will not cancel out from the numerator. Therefore, this is not divisible. Similarly, if I say a smaller example, says 7, and here 6 factorial. So now 6 factorial is nothing but 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 by 7. So now this numerator has no 7 there. However, this denominator has a 7. So this will again be not be a divisible. So therefore, what we can, I can say for certainty, कि if n is a prime number, then n minus 1 factorial will not be divisible by n factorial, right? Except for the case that, I mean, yeah. So that is there. Means for all prime numbers it is true. Even for 2, if we see, so 1 fact by 2 is not divisible. So for all the prime numbers we can say so, right? So let us see, I mean, what I do, I just form different cases. So if I take different values of n, and then n minus 1 factorial, we will see. So if I take n is equal to 1, n minus 1 factorial is 0 factorial, which is equal to 1. So this is divisible. 1 by 1 will be divisible. N is equal to 2. So it will be 1 upon 2. N minus 1 factorial will be 1, not divisible, right? So this is a proper case. 3 factorial, if we know. So 3 minus 1, 2 factorial, which is 2. So 2 by 3 is not divisible. Then 4. 4 if we take, then 4 minus 3 is 6 factorial, right? 4 minus 1 is 3 factorial, which is 6. So 6 is also not divisible by 4. Now I take 5. For 5 into, here it will be 4 factorial, which is 24. So here, now 6 factorial is nothing but 5 factorial by 6. So 6 factorial, here it will be 5 factorial, right? 6 minus 1, 5 factorial, which is 120. So 120 is divisible by 6, right? Then 7, if I take, then 7, 6 factorial upon 7. So again, this will not be divisible. This I have seen here. So not divisible. If I take 8, then it will be 7 factorial. Now if I see 7 factorial, so 7 factorial by 8 will be nothing but 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 upon 8. So 4 2 ja 8. This cancels out. So now it will cancel out. So what we observe here ki on the prime numbers where n is prime, the same is not divisible, right? This is divisible. This will not be there. This will also be. So all the prime numbers are not divisible. In case of 4, it's not completely divisible. 6 by 4 is not divisible completely. So this will also not be a case. And subsequent numbers also, I mean, so this we can take as a case here. This is not divisible, right? However, on rest of the numbers, even 9, 8 factorial, this will also be divisible. So what we can conclude here, ki number of such cases is nothing but this one special case 4, because 4 also does not divide 6 perfectly. Otherwise, on the prime numbers which equal to on the prime numbers between 1 to 200. So how many prime numbers are there? Between 1 to 100 we have 25, and between uh, 101 to 200 we have 21 prime numbers. This we have seen in the discussion on prime numbers. And one additional case of this 4 comma 6. So total such cases is nothing but 47. So this is a very interesting question where we have made use of a concept wherein of a prime number. The prime number is not n factorial, n minus 1 factorial upon n factor. N is not a divisible when n is a prime number. So that concept we have used here. Apart from that, there is one more case of n is equal to 4 where it's not divisible. Otherwise, rest of the number would be divisible. So this is it. Now we will see another question. Here it says b is an integer greater than 4. So b is greater than 4 such that a is equal to b square minus b. Then show that a square minus 2a is divisible by 4 factorial. So let us see this. A square minus 2a. We can write this as a into a minus 2. Now a into a minus 2 I can substitute as b square minus b, and a minus 2 again I will substitute here b square minus b minus 2. This I can factorize b into b minus 1, and this will be nothing but b minus 2 b plus 1, I think, yeah, huh? So this will be nothing but b minus 2 into b minus 1, just rearranging b, then b plus 1. So this is 4 consecutive natural number. B is greater than 4, so all the number will be positive here. So this b minus 2, b minus 1, b and b plus 1 are 4 consecutive in natural numbers. So therefore, the that we have seen, the product of 4 consecutive natural number will always be a multiple of 4 factorial. Right? This we have seen. This is nothing but product of 4 consecutive natural number, which is multiple of 4 factorial. Right? So hence this is proved. Now this is another interesting question. Here it says n is a two-digit number such that the product of factorials of its digits. So let's suppose n is a two-digit number a, b. It says the product of factorials of its digit. So that is a factorial into b factorial. This is the product of factorials of a digit is greater than the sum of the factorials of its digits. So how many values of n exists? So that is nothing but, now see, we will just rearrange this. So this I can write as factorial plus b factorial minus a factorial into b factorial less than 0. So this further I can write as a factorial plus b factorial minus a factorial into b factorial. I put minus 1 on both sides of the equation, so it would not make any difference. Now I take a common between this term and this term. So I take a factorial common, so it becomes 1 minus, and here it will be b factorial, and minus 1 into 1 minus this b factorial. I'm just rearranging to factorize this, nothing great. So this becomes a factorial minus 1 into 1 minus b factorial, which is less than minus 1. This I can rearrange as a factorial minus 1 into b factorial minus 1. Now I take minus, I have, it was 1 minus b factorial. This I have taken as b minus 1 factorial. So I have taken minus 1 common, which will go other side. So it will reverse the direction and it will be greater than equal to greater than 1. So now see here, greater than 1. So basically it will be, and a is a two digit number. So a cannot be 0, right? So from here we can say a not equal to 0 because a is a two digit number. Also a is not equal to 1 because if a is 1 then it will be 1 factorial minus 1. So 1 minus 1 0. 0 into something will be 0 it. So a cannot be 1, right? Similarly this term also, I mean basically what I am trying to do ki a factorial minus 1 not equal to 0 and b factorial minus 1 not equal to 0. So this means a not equal to 0 comma 1 and here b not equal to 0 comma 1, right? So rest all values a and b can take. So now number is equal to a and b. So a can take 8 values. Similarly b can take 8 values. Which one values? From 2, 3 till 9. Similarly this 8 value 2, 3, 4, 9. So it becomes, it has 8 values. So 8 into 8, I mean, right? So there are 64 different numbers possible. 64 numbers possible, right? So total possible two digit n is equal to nothing but 64, right? So this is an interesting way of, I mean, first we rearrange the question equation, and then we I mean sorted out certain not possible values of a and b, and then whatever the values were possible, so those we took. So there were 8 possible values which a can take. Similarly b can take another 8 values. So total combination would be 8 into 8, 64, right? Now let us see this question. This is also an interesting one where it says y is equal to b factorial plus 10. Then how many values of, for how many values of b y is a perfect square? Let us see. I mean if I just try to put different values here. So if b is 1, so it will be nothing but 11, 1 factorial plus 10. B is 2, it will be 12, 2 factorial is 2. B is 3, 3 factorial is 6, so 10 plus 6 is 16. If B is 4, 24 plus 10 is 34. If B is 5, then it is nothing but 5 factorial is 120, 120 plus 10 is 130. Similarly, I mean 6 is 720 plus 10, 730, and so on. So now 4 factorial onwards, I mean I can write 4 if say suppose B I can write this if all the numbers which are more than equal to 4 factorial can be written as multiple of 4k1. 5 factorial also can be written as 4k1, because 5 factorial also has a multiple of 4. So all the numbers more than or greater than equal to 4 can be expressed in a factor of 4k1. So for b greater than equal to 4, b factorial plus 10 can be written as nothing but b factorial. I can write as 4k, and 10 I can write as 4, say it is 4k1, this becomes 4k2 plus 2. So this is nothing but 4 I take common here, it will become k1 plus k2 plus 2. Let us let us write this as 4 into k1 plus k2, another variable, say k plus 2. So now what we can see, that b factorial plus 10 is nothing but 4k plus 2 for b greater than equal to 4. But we know that for, any perfect square, we know that any perfect square always is in the form of, that this I write here, all the perfect squares are in form of 4k or 4k plus 1. If the number is even number, it will be 4k. If the number is odd number, it will be 4k plus 1. This we have already seen in the chapter on number system. So this I hope you would be knowing. So on the perfect square ends in 4k, is in the form of 4k or 4k plus 1, whereas this b factorial plus 10 is coming in the form of 4 into k plus 2. So hence on the, for on the b greater than equal to 4, it will not be a perfect square. Only perfect square what we can see is this, for 3 is, which is giving 16. This is the only case which is a perfect square. So only possible value of b is equal to 3. This is the answer. Last few questions we'll see again. How many two digits number less than equal to 50 have the product of the factorials of their digits less than or equal to the sum of the factorials of their digits? Acha. So here it says, say n is equal to ab, which is less than equal to 50. So a will be between 1 to 5, right? From here this we can this much we can say. Now it is given that a factorial into b factorial is less than equal to a factorial plus b factorial. This is same as the previous last to last problem which we saw. So here we can write this, simply, mm, this is nothing but a factorial plus b factorial minus a factorial into b factorial minus 1 is equal to greater than equal to minus 1. This we can write as a factorial minus 1 plus b into 1 minus a factorial, which is greater than minus 1. So here we can write this as, uh, no, I think, this we can write as a factorial and take common. It will be 1 minus b factorial minus 1 into 1 minus b factorial. So it becomes a factorial minus 1 into 1 minus b factorial greater than equal to minus 1. So this is nothing but a factorial minus 1 into b factorial minus 1. Now this will become less than equal to plus 1, right? So now see here, this is a interesting equation here. Product of two numbers is less than equal to 1, and we know that, so it means that a factorial minus 1 can be 1 only, because this will be integer only, it cannot be fraction. And b factorial minus 1 is also less than equal to 1. So it means that, see, uh, I write this as into b factorial minus 1 can be either 0 or 1, right? So it can be 0 or 1. So now let us see, can this a factorial minus 1 be 0? So it means that a and b can, uh, a factorial is equal to 1 and a cannot be 0, I mean that we know. So a can take, a factorial is equal to 1. So from here I can say a will take the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And b can take only, in that case, 0 or 1. So what are the cases here? I mean, if a is equal to 1, there are 10 possibilities for b. B can take 10 values, right? If now a is equal to 2, then b can take, I mean, if a is 2, so this is a positive number, 2 factorial. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So this has to be 1, right? Or 0. So b can take value 0 comma 1, which is two values, which is two values. I mean, I write there two values, which is 0 and 1. Similarly, if a is equal to 3, b can have two values again. If a is 3, so this becomes 3 factorial, which is 3, 6 minus 1, 5. So this has to be 0 now. So b will have either 0 or 1, two values. And here b can have all the value from 0, 1 to 10, 9. Because a is 0, so this equation. Similarly, if a is equal to 4, it is two values. And a is equal to 5, also it has two values. So total number of cases, possible values, is 10 plus 2, 12, to 14, 16, 18. So it is 18 here, right? So total 18 cases are feasible, possible here. This this is same as what we had done earlier also, but here I mean the sign was just reverse. So this a factorial minus 1 into b factorial minus 1 could have taken either 0 or 1. So now we tested with each one of them. So when, and a can take 5 values, so I started with a is equal to 1. So b can take all the values if a is equal to 1, then a is equal to 2, then b can take only two values. So that way we solved and got the answer. Now this is another question. If n is a positive integer, how many values of n satisfies the equation which is n factorial is equal to n minus 1 factorial into n factorial. This we can write as n factorial into n factorial minus 1 factorial, and this we can write as n minus 1 into n factorial. This n factorial gets cancelled with this factorial. So here it is nothing but n factorial minus 1 का factorial is equal to n minus 1 factorial. Now we have seen in the earlier slides that the value of two different numbers have a same factorial. It's only possible if the numbers are same, right? And same, and those numbers can have no other value than 0 comma 1, right? So that we will see again. Two different factorial values can be same only in the case of 0 factorial and 1 factorial. So let us see this. I mean, how does this come out? So these two number has to be same. I mean, see what I'm trying to say ki x factorial is equal to y factorial. This means ki x has to be either equal to y, or x is equal to 0 or y is equal to 1, or y is equal to 0 or x is equal to 1. These are the only three possibilities. But here, since n is a positive integer, so n is a positive integer, so if n is equal to 1, this can be there. So let us see, I mean, that will solve out. So these are the three possibility. So the first possibility is x is equal to y, so that's what we equated. N factorial minus 1 is equal to n minus 1. This cancels out. So from here what we can say, uh, n factorial minus n is equal to 0, which is nothing but n into n. I will take common. Here it remains n minus 1 factorial minus 1, which is 0. So n cannot be 0 because n is positive number. So it becomes n minus 1 factorial minus 1 is equal to 0. So from here I can write n minus 1 factorial is equal to 1. So now n minus 1 factorial is equal to 1. So n minus 1 can be either 0 or n minus 1 can be either 1, right? So this gives n is equal to 1. This gives n is equal to 2. So two possible values of n is possible, right? This is what we obtained here. Now we'll see the last illustration. Here it is mn and a positive integer such that m factorial into n factorial is equal to m factorial plus n factorial. So this means that m factorial plus n factorial, this is same as the two illustrations we have done just before. 0. So we will, I mean, let us take in next example. M factorial plus n factorial minus m factorial into n factorial minus 1 is equal to minus 1. This I can write as m factorial minus 1 into n factorial minus 1 after factorization is equal to 1, right? This I think is clear because two similar illustrations we have done. So from there I can directly write this. So now product of two factorial values is 1. This means that m factorial minus 1 has to be 1 and n factorial minus 1 has to be 1, right? Otherwise other positive value if it takes, then it cannot be 1. So from here we can get that m is equal to m factorial is 2, which is nothing but m is equal to 2 because 2 factorial is equal to 2. Same here, n factorial is equal to 2, that means n is equal to 2. We have to find the value of m plus n. So m plus n is nothing but 2 plus 2, which is 4. So this is the way. So hope, I mean, the concept and the approach we take to solve the questions are clear. I have taken ample illustrations here to take you through the different concepts of factorials. These are the basic and introductory in nature. In the subsequent sessions, we'll see some moderate to advanced concepts on factorials through various illustrations. So thanks for watching this. Thanks a lot.